What up, everyone? We got Arcade Block. So, this block never disappoints, and I hope it never does. This whole company's been pretty good, but let's see what we got in this month's box. So, first we got a t-shirt. And from what I was hearing, this is from the Final Fantasy. These are all creatures from Final Fantasy, and I recognize some of them. I'm not quite familiar enough with the series to be like, oh yeah, that's totally this character. But either way, it looks like a cool shirt, and I'll probably do some research so I get some knowledge on them. But yeah, I thought it was very cool. And I like the way they have the whole like tournament fighting versus screen right there, so that's pretty cool. Alrighty. Next, this one was very interesting. We got a hat. So it's kind of a little like Army Marine style hat, and you can't really see it. I'll put a picture at the end, but there's a little logo here. It says Foxhound with a little picture of the fox from Metal Gear Solid. So that was a little emblem from that game, and this hat's actually pretty nice. It's not like amazing quality, but it's definitely good. Like, it's not cheap at all. Like, you can tell if like they've made it themselves. I'm not sure if they did, but this is actually a pretty nice quality hat, and it's soft and smells new. Like, it's actually decent quality. I'm not sure how much everyone would love this hat. I think it's depends on the individual person, but I totally wear hats on the channel, and I'll wear this too. I like it when they kind of think outside the box a little bit and try new and interesting things, and I don't think we've ever gotten a hat in a box before, so it may not be for everyone, but I think it's cool. I like it when they try new things, so yeah, that works for me. Next, we got a Kid Robot figure from it's South Park, the Stick of Truth, and I got Kyle, the High Jew Elf, sorry. So these are some nice figures, and I love Kid Robot. I think they put out awesome product. They haven't put out a lot recently since their whole buyout and switchover, so I hope they keep doing products. So yeah, I really like them. I think they do high quality stuff. I'm not super familiar with this game. I haven't played it personally, but I like South Park. I thought it was great. So this is a nice little figure. Then we got, this came in a little solid box. We got a little mason jar. And this has the little hearts from Legend of Zelda. Again, I'll put a higher quality picture at the end. But yeah, it's just a little like airtight apothecary jar. So it's airtight, so if you don't have somewhere to stash your weed, it's airtight, so it'll keep it nice and fresh. There you go. And it has a cool little design on it. It's nice. It's actually like glass too, so I really like that. Again, an interesting item that's not found every day, but that's still cool and nerdy, and it's still like video game theme. I think that's great. Alrighty. Next, we got a little sign, a little suction cup sign. So you can put this in your car, on your window. Blue shell on board is what it says. I'm getting a bad glare, I don't know if you can see it. Again, I'll put a better picture at the end. But yeah, it's not super high quality, it's just a little plastic sign for all those people that have baby on board in their car. It's just a little play on the whole Mario Brothers shell. So that's cool. That's just an extra little filler. And the last item, we got a little magnet. It says Kick Punch from Parappa the Rapper. So this is actually a wood magnet. So it's actually like decent quality. It's not like a little cheap like paper one that they just glued the magnet thing to the back of. It's actually wood, which is cool and interesting to see. And it's got like the elevated little microphone right there. So that, yeah, I really like that. It's nice to have. I always like magnets. I'll pop them on my fridge. But it's cool to have one like a little bit different from the average one. So yeah, that was all the items in here. Let's go through them really quick and give this box a value. First, we got our t-shirt. So we got Gildan, but it's a soft style, so it does fit a little bit better. But again, not super high quality. But either way, standard 12 to 15. I think it's well deserved for that. It's got a cool little design. That'll do. Next, we got our hat. Now I'm going to give this about the same. I'm going to give this like a $12 to $15 range there. So I've seen hats. For a nice hat, for like a nice design on it, like the hats I wear here, they're usually 20 bucks, and some of them are like 30 bucks, so hats go pretty high. But you can find really cheap hats out there. But even still, the cheapest of them, I've never really seen them go for much cheaper than like $10. Even for sometimes a blank one, like it's hard to see it at that price. And for a nice logo one that's decent quality, I think 12 to 15 is like a fair range for like a cheap hat. I think that's reasonable. It might be a little bit cheaper, like give or take $1 or $2 in each direction, but right around 12 to 15 I think is reasonable. Next, our South Park Kid Robot figure. This is going to be 10 to 12. I've seen a bunch of these online, I've seen them in store, and that's the price they charge. Like $10 on the low end and $12 on the high. So right around in there, depending on where you buy it from. Not much argument there. These are common items. You can find them anywhere. Then, our little apothecary jar. This I'd say like 8 to 10. These type of jars aren't super hard to find. You can find them in like Target and stuff like this. The design is different. Like you can't find that specific design, but it's not super hard to get printed on there, so it does increase it a little bit. So I think 8 to 10 is reasonable for a small size jar. Again, it might go a little bit higher on the resale market, or if you bought it in a comic shop or something like that. But for argument's sake, I'm going to put it around 8 to 10. It's pretty reasonable in range. Then we have our sign. So this, I'm going to put around $5. It probably would be cheaper if you were to find this in store. I could see this going for like only $1 or $2, but if you were to actually buy it online or something like that, it might be closer to $5. But again, I'll just put it at $5 just to give it a like an argument's sake type of thing. Just put it at $5 just to make it an easy round number. And then the last thing, our magnet. This will be like 2 or 3 because, like I said, it's not like a cheap one. It's actually wood. It's a wood magnet, so which is kind of nice and a little bit different. And it's printed on there very nicely. It looks like it was done very well. It's nice in quality, so I think $2 or $3 is reasonable on that. So, with that in mind, on the low end, $49. On the high end, $61. So, absolutely no surprise there. Arcade Block, Nerd Block, Horror Block, all those ones are always going to give you right around $50 value. And this is no exception. Like, it was $50 on the low, $60 on the high, so somewhere in between the $50 to $60 range. Which is pretty perfect. Like, that's right around double. You pay $30 for this, and that's one of the more expensive boxes for $30. But considering you pretty much almost always get about double every time, like, that's pretty good. Usually the higher, more expensive boxes don't give you anywhere near double, and they charge too much. But this one's pretty good. It has a decent price point. It's more expensive, but it's more expensive for a reason. It gives you great value. It always gives you good variety. You're not going to get a pop in a t-shirt in every single one and some cheap old collectibles. They actually go out of their way. Like, this is obviously all video game themed, but it's still good quality stuff. And then you'll get stuff like the apothecary jar and the hat. Like, I guarantee you're not going to see these in any other boxes. Nor have I in the past few months. In the 200 boxes I've gotten, I've never seen a hat or a jar like that. And true that maybe not everyone needs those things or maybe even likes them, but it's just cool that they're like pushing the envelope a little bit and getting different things out there. I like that they're pushing. Not too far. They're not putting crazy items that some people hate, but things that are just outside the norm just to keep it interesting. And the fact that they can do that and still put out like 5 different boxes every month is pretty impressive. So I'm always very impressed with this company and this block specifically. Like, I think they're really a great company and they do a good job. So all that being said, I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. It may even deserve a little higher than that because you got pretty much double your value. You got a good variety of stuff. You got cool items that weren't cheap at all. Some of them they may have made within the company, I'm not sure, but either way it was all good quality. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this box. But nothing particularly amazing about it. It didn't blow me away, so that's why I didn't get an 8 or higher. But still, it was very good, good value, good variety, good product. So can't really complain about that. I thought it was good. But let me know what you guys think, if you thought some of the items were crazy or if you like that they always try to do new and interesting stuff. So, this has been Arcade Block, 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Love you all. Peace.